5 warning signs a woman doesn't value you. Know when to move on. Today we're diving into a crucial topic. 5 warning signs a woman doesn't value you. Look, we've all been there. That feeling when you put your heart and soul into a relationship, only to realize it's not reciprocated. It's tough, it's heartbreaking, and it can really mess with your head, but it doesn't have to be that way. Knowing the warning signs can save you a lot of heartache down the line. Think of this like investing in real estate. You wouldn't buy a property without doing your due diligence, checking for red flags, right? Same thing applies to relationships. By recognizing these signs early on, you can make informed decisions about your love life and prioritize your emotional well-being, because at the end of the day, you deserve to be with someone who values you just as much as you value them. Let's get into it. The first warning sign we're going to talk about is lack of communication. Now, everyone communicates differently. Some people are naturally more talkative, while others are more reserved. But there's a big difference between personality quirks and a consistent pattern of avoidance. If she consistently avoids meaningful conversations, it might be a sign she doesn't value your relationship as much as you do. Think about it. When you're genuinely interested in someone, you want to talk to them, right? You want to share your day, your thoughts, your dreams. You crave that connection. On the flip side, when someone consistently shuts down conversations, avoids deep topics, or just doesn't seem interested in what you have to say, it can be a major red flag. It's like they're emotionally checked out of the relationship. And it's not just about face-to-face conversations. Pay attention to how responsive she is to your texts and calls. Does she take hours or even days to respond? Does she seem distant and disengaged in her messages? Now I get it. We all have busy lives, and sometimes responding to messages can slip our minds. But if it's a constant pattern, it's time to take notice. It might be a sign that she's not prioritizing you or the relationship. Remember, communication is the foundation of any strong relationship. If she's not willing to put in the effort to communicate effectively, it's a sign that she might not value you as much as you deserve. Let's talk about another major red flag: disrespectful behavior. This one is huge, guys. How someone treats you, especially in the context of a relationship, speaks volumes about how they truly feel about you. Pay attention to how she treats you, both in public and in private. Does she constantly criticize you, put you down, or make you feel small? Does she belittle your opinions, your accomplishments, or your dreams? Disrespectful behavior can manifest in many ways. It could be subtle digs disguised as jokes, constant eye-rolling when you're talking, or outright insults and name-calling. And let me tell you, none of it is acceptable. When someone genuinely values you, they treat you with respect, even when you disagree. They value your opinions, even if they don't always agree with them. They support your dreams, even if they're different from their own. Disrespectful behavior is a clear indicator of low regard. It shows a lack of respect for your feelings, your boundaries, and your worth as a person. And trust me, a relationship built on a foundation of disrespect is like a house of cards. It's bound to collapse. If you're constantly being disrespected in your relationship, it's time to have a serious conversation with yourself. Ask yourself, is this really the kind of treatment I deserve? Is this the kind of person I want to be with in the long run? Remember, you deserve to be with someone who treats you with respect, kindness, and admiration. Don't settle for anything less. Prioritizing others over you. Where do you stand? Now let's talk about another sign that she might not value you as much as you deserve. Constantly prioritizing others over you. Look, relationships are all about balance. It's important to have your own lives, your own friends, your own interests. But when you're in a relationship, you also make an effort to prioritize your partner. If she frequently prioritizes others over you, it shows where you stand in her life. It's like you're always an afterthought, an option B rather than a priority. Think about it. Does she consistently cancel plans with you at the last minute to hang out with friends or go to events without even inviting you? Does she seem more invested in her relationships with other people than she is in your relationship? Does she make excuses for why she can't make time for you, even though you're constantly making time for her? These are all signs that she might not value you as much as you deserve. It's like she's keeping you at arm's length, almost as if she's not fully committed to the relationship. Now, I'm not saying that you need to be attached at the hip 24/7. That's not healthy either, but there needs to be a balance. A healthy relationship involves both partners making an effort to spend quality time together, to prioritize each other, and to make each other feel valued and appreciated. If you constantly feel like you're at the bottom of her priority list, it's time to have an honest conversation with her about your needs and expectations. And if she's not willing to make adjustments or meet you halfway, it might be time to reconsider the relationship. Remember, you deserve to be with someone who values you and makes you feel important. Don't settle for less. Lack of effort. The bare minimum isn't enough. Let's be real, guys. Relationships are a two-way street. It's about two people putting in the effort to build something special together, something that lasts. But what happens when one person isn't pulling their weight? When one person is just coasting along? That's what we're talking about in this chapter, lack of effort. If she's not putting in the effort, it might be time to reconsider the relationship. Think about it seriously. Does she make an effort to plan dates, surprise you with thoughtful gestures, or even just send you a good morning text? These small actions matter. Or does it feel like you're the only one putting in the effort, always initiating contact, always planning things, always trying to keep the spark alive? It can be exhausting. Look, relationships shouldn't feel like a chore. They shouldn't feel like one person is carrying all the weight while the other one is just along for the ride. When someone genuinely values you, they show it through their actions. They make an effort to make you feel special, to keep the romance alive, to nurture the relationship. They don't wait for you to do all the work. They step up and contribute their fair share. If you're constantly feeling like you're the only one putting in the effort, it's time to have a conversation with yourself. Ask yourself, is this the kind of relationship I want to be in? Is this what I deserve? Am I willing to settle for someone who doesn't seem to value me or our connection? Remember, you deserve someone who's willing to meet you halfway, someone who's just as invested in the relationship as you are, someone who truly cares. Don't settle for anything less. You deserve the best. Emotional unavailability, guarded hearts lead to closed doors. The final warning sign we're going to discuss is emotional unavailability. This one can be tricky because it's not always as obvious as the other signs, but it can be just as damaging to a relationship. If she's emotionally distant and unavailable, it could mean she's not invested in the relationship the way you are. It's like there's a wall around her heart, preventing you from truly connecting with her on a deeper level. Think about it. Does she shy away from vulnerability? Does she avoid talking about her feelings, her past, or her fears? Does she deflect your attempts to get closer by changing the subject or making light of serious conversations? Emotional unavailability can manifest in many ways. She might be physically present but emotionally checked out. She might be afraid of intimacy or commitment. She might have past traumas that are preventing her from opening up. Whatever the reason, emotional unavailability can be a major roadblock in a relationship. It can leave you feeling lonely, frustrated, and emotionally unfulfilled. It's like you're dating a ghost, someone who's physically there but emotionally absent. Now, it's important to remember that everyone has their own pace when it comes to emotional vulnerability. Some people are naturally more open and expressive, while others take more time to warm up and let their guard down. But if you've been dating for a while and she's still emotionally closed off, it's time to have a conversation. Let her know that you care about her and that you want to understand her better. Encourage her to open up at her own pace, but also be clear about your own needs and expectations. Remember, a healthy relationship involves both partners being emotionally present, vulnerable, and supportive. If she's not willing or able to meet you there, it might be time to move on. It's a tough decision, but sometimes necessary for your own emotional well-being. Reflect on what you need from a relationship and whether it's being fulfilled. Your emotional health is just as important as hers. Ultimately, you deserve a partner who is willing to be emotionally available and invested in building a meaningful connection with you. Know your worth, moving on to better things. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more insightful content. Remember, your emotional well-being is incredibly important. Know when to move on. Recognizing these warning signs is just the first step. The real challenge lies in what you choose to do with that information. It's easy to get caught up in the hope that things will change, but sometimes, the healthiest thing you can do is walk away. You deserve to be with someone who values you, respects you, and makes you feel loved and appreciated. Don't settle for anything less.